Hey guys, it's Ashley. So today I'm going to be talking about kind of the emotional side of dealing with rheumatoid arthritis or chronic pain, chronic disease, anything like that really. So obviously pain sucks. Being in pain hurts and that sucks. I mean, we can all understand that. But there's a lot of stuff behind the scenes that also happens that people don't really think about unless you deal with it yourself. There's just exhaustion, brain fog, and a whole slew of emotions going back and forth and up and down just over and over again. And that's fine. Like, it's gonna happen, you learn how to deal with it. But yeah, I just kind of want to share an experience that happened to me the other day, just kind of as an example of something like this that happens every now and then, and just to kind of help people who don't go through it relate to people that do. Maybe you have a friend or a family member that's going through this, and also just to help people who are going through it know they're not alone and that this is normal and it's okay and you can get through it. So the other night there was a pressure drop that happened, I guess, pretty quickly. It started raining and everything. And my joints were not very happy about that. It was actually a pretty dramatic reaction, more than I've had in a while, and I've been back and forth quite a lot recently, just because of the weather. It's, changing from winter to spring right now, and it's just going back and forth, and temperatures going up and down, and that whole season just kind of sucks. But yeah, this was like a really kind of dramatic, quick, everything swelled up, tightened up. It just was not a good situation. And that happened pretty soon when I was about to go to bed. So I kind of like mentally prepared myself to feel like shit in the morning, essentially. So, I went to bed, had quite a bit of trouble going to bed, tossed and turned a lot. And then I woke up and I actually felt quite a bit better than I had. And that kind of like threw me for a loop, and I guess my brain just didn't know what to think, and I like started getting grumpy because even though I felt better, it wasn't what I expected. Like, I still didn't know what my body was doing. And I mean, I know this is an unpredictable disease. It is. Like, flares can happen whenever, whatever, for a reason, for no reason. So I mean, I'm used to that up and down, but even still, every now and then, you just, like, what? What just happened? What? So, yeah, so I woke up, and, yeah, I was just grumpy. I was in a bad mood. Like, and then I was sitting there trying to figure out why I was in a bad mood, because I felt better. I should be happy. I should be relieved, like, I should be happy right now. Why am I not? So, then I try to kind of just push it to the background, just let it go, just say, hey, you can, you prepared yourself for this. It didn't happen though. You can let go of it. It's okay. But I wasn't really asking myself why I was feeling that way. I was just saying, acknowledging that I was feeling that way, but not really going any deeper than that, just trying to push it to the back. And obviously that didn't work. So yeah, I would feel better for a minute, and then like I would get angry again about something stupid, and then finally I just had to sit down and like just sit with myself and figure out what was happening. And then finally it just kind of hit me, like, Ashley, this is fucking hard. It's okay to feel like this. It's fucking normal. Like, even though you do actually feel better than you thought you would right now, like, you're still dealing with this. You're still dealing with recovering from that flare from last night, even though you don't feel as bad as you thought you would. You still have to recover. There's still time in there where you do feel like shit, just not as shit as you thought you would. And there's just so much more that goes into it. Just processing all of that it's a lot. It's a lot to do emotionally, mentally. It's not easy. And a lot of the times you feel like, well, not necessarily that you can't talk about it, but you don't want to talk about it. Because, I mean, you spend your time kind of pushing the pain to the background so that it's not ruling your life, so that you can still get on with what you're doing and still be focused and motivated to like do what you needed to. But then when you do that, no one around you knows what you're going through, and they don't see that, and it leaves you feeling really frustrated and kind of alone, really. Because even when you do take the time to explain it, which, first of all, that requires taking it from the background, putting it at the front of your mind so that you can actually analyze and pinpoint and put it into words what you're feeling, and you have to like put all of your thought on that at that time. I don't want to do that. I don't. I want to feel as little pain as possible. But yeah, even when you do take the time to do that, if you're not going through that, you can only explain so much. It's just hard. Like, you know? It's that simple. When you have chronic pain, it takes up just as much space in your head as life does itself, really. Like, you're not just dealing with life. Like, everyone has to deal with shit. Everyone goes through shit in life. Life throws fucking curveballs. Like, that happens to everyone, right? But you're already dealing with that. And then you have chronic pain that comes on and stacks on top of it, and it just adds so much more. And it's so much harder to get through all of that to be able to work on the life stuff. So yeah, and it's just really hard to explain that, and it's really hard for people to understand, because I mean, honestly, if you haven't gone through it, it's really hard to. I mean, I grew up with my mom, who, I mean, she wasn't, in chronic pain all of my life, but the large majority of it she was. And I mean, I lived with her every day, and even I didn't fully understand. Like, I mean, I did a little bit, I could sympathize quite a bit, but still, when this happened to me, like, there was another level of understanding that you get to, because it's not just the pain, there's so much more. It's a roller coaster. It's an emotional roller coaster. You go up and down, and one day you think you're getting on a kiddie ride, but you go on all these freaking loop-de-loops, and then one day you think you're going on a loop-de-loop, and you end up on a kiddie ride, and you're like, what the fuck is this? It's hard. It's fucking hard, but, that's life. Life is always hard. So, yeah, you just keep pushing through it. These moments of frustration, of anger, of sadness, of everything kind of happening all at once, they're perfectly normal, they're perfectly fine, they're gonna happen. It just is, probably repeatedly. You're probably gonna have to deal with the same emotions over and over again that you think you've already processed. It is what it is. There's only so much you can change about your situation, but you can always try to, have a good attitude and, just do the best you can. Do the best you can, and that's not gonna be the same as someone else's best, and that's fucking okay. That is okay. This is hard. This is very hard to deal with, and life is already hard. But yeah, you take a moment, or a lot of moments, very extended moment, and you process, you think about what's going on and why, and acknowledge that that's okay, that that's normal, that you feel that way, that you allow yourself to feel that way. And then by doing that, then you can release it, and you can move on and feel better. Even if your body isn't running the way you want it to, and, the freaking weather keeps going back and forth, and it feels like everything's working against you, you can still do it. You can still choose to try, and to be strong, and to go on. And, you know, just try to have the best attitude you can. And, you know, it's really the only way you can get through it. If you sit there and you bury everything down and, you know, just kind of live in isolation, it's only gonna get worse. So, yeah, you have to have those roller coaster moments to be able to release and move on and feel better about yourself and about your situation. Like, your brain doesn't have time to think about how to make you feel better if you're not dealing with the emotions that are coming up with everything. But yeah, I choose to be the best I can be, to be the most loving I can be to everyone and everything, because that's what makes me feel better, and that's what makes this world better. And yeah, just wanted to share my experience and say that you can be mad, you can be sad, you can be frustrated, you can be confused, but you can still be okay. And you can still be happy. Okay, bye.